はい。では、今回、海外で学ぶ分野別短期研修ですね、説明会スタートしたいと思います。はい。まずですね、SAF について、ご紹介したいと思います。はい。SAF なんですけれども、スタディアブロードファウンデーション日本事務局と言いまして、アメリカ非営利、教育機関、米国の非営利教育機関になります。2000年にですね、アメリカで、設立された団体なんですけれども、政府は日本事務局以外に中国、韓国に、事務局を持っておりまして、その、事務局から、海外に学生さんを送っている団体となります。で、2017年には IS アブロードという、母体と合併しまして、現在ではですね、累計6000名以上の学生さんの留学をサポートしてきております。で、その IS アブロードというところが今回運営する、プログラムが分野別短期研修になります。はい。で、IS アブロードっていうところはですね、世界各国にセンターを持ちまして、ですね、今ではですね、世界17カ国、34カ所にですね、IS センターを持っています。ここに各、地図のところでですね、赤い箇所がセンターがある箇所になります。で、そのセンターの中から今回ダブリン、ニース、ローマのプログラムを皆さんにご提供しております。で、SF のサポート体制についてご紹介させていただきます。すでにもうお話聞いている方いらっしゃるかもしれないんですけれども、改めてご説明させていただきます。まずはですね、説明会前、こういった、説明会に参加いただいて、各留学先大学の情報を得ていただきます。で、皆さんのご希望に合った研修先を選択していただき、ご希望がありましたらオンラインでの個別相談等も可能です。で、申し込み手続きではですね、SF の方で提供する申し込みの手引きもすでに確認してくださっている方いらっしゃるかもしれないんですけど、そちらを見まして申し込みを進めてください。で、申し込み方法わからない場合にもですね、申し込みサポート会っていうものを用意しておりますので、こちらご参加いただけたらなと思います。で、渡航前ですね、出発前にはですね、オリエンテーションを実施しております。出発直前の準備だったり、心構えなどですね、このオリエンテーションでご説明します。なので、初めて海外に行く方って方も多くいらっしゃると思うんですけど、そういった方にも安心して研修をスタートいただけるのではないかなと思います。で、研修中はですね、右の図にありますように、IS アブロード、いろんな機関を通じて連携して皆さんの留学をサポートしていきます。で、現地に行ってからもですね、初日にオリエンテーションがありますので、安心して2週間の研修をスタートさせることができるかと思います。はい。じゃあ実際の、研修内容、研修についてご紹介していきます。今期、来年の春ですね、行うプログラム、この3つですね。アイルランドとイタリアとフランスで行う3つのプログラムになります。で、それぞれ、時期ですね、異なりますけども、2週間のプログラムになります。で、費用については後ほど詳しく、ご説明させていただきます。で、人数ですね、最小最高人数と定員の人数があります。で、最小最高人数、アイルランドのダブリンが20名で、ローマが15名、ニースが18名となっております。で、定員はこちらに書いてあるすべて25名になります。で、それぞれのプログラム内容、まずそもそも海外分野別短期研修ってどんなプログラムかっていうところですね、説明させていただきますと、このプログラムはすべて英語で実施するんですけども、語学研修、英語を学ぶプログラムではありません。各テーマに沿った内容の知識を英語で学んでいただくものになっております。ただですね、英語が苦手な方でも問題はありません。現地でですね、一部日本語のサポートがあります。で、分野別短期研修にはそれぞれのテーマがありますけれども、ご自身の大学の専攻に関係なく、どなたでも参加していただけます。 で、プログラム内容なんですけれども、座学でレクチャーを受けるだけっていうのではなく、多様な形式になっています。各、内容については次のスライドでご説明させていただきます。教室にですね、とどまるだけではなくて、いろんなところに赴いて、肌で感じて、英語を実践的に使いながら、学んでいただくっていうようなプログラムになっております。はい。で、プログラムは大きく分けて5つのパートで構成されています。まずですね、真ん中のゲストレクチャー、各プログラムのテーマに合わせた様々なトピックをですね、トピックのレクチャーをですね、その分野の専門家だったり、教授を招いて行うセッションになっています。で、次、カルチャーセッションですね。右側のものになりますが、留学する国の文化を学び、また日本の文化や習慣と比較しながら異文化理解をしていただくセッションになっています。で、ディスカッション。各レクチャーの中で参加者同士で英語でディスカッションや意見交換を行うセッションがあります。で、次ですね、アクティビティ、企業訪問。異文化理解の目的もあるんですけども、そのプログラムテーマをより深く理解していただくために、様々な場所に赴いて、肌で体験するフィールドワークとなっています。中にはですね、現地の有名な企業に訪問するものもあります。で、そしてですね、これらのですね、多角的な学びを経験した後に、どのプログラムでも最後には成果発表、プレゼンテーションですね、という場が設けられております。はい。短期研修では2週間という短い期間になるんですけれども、その中で小グループに分かれていただいて、研修期間で学んだ概念とか理論とかアイデアをですね、取り入れて、プレゼンテーションを行っていただきます。学んだ成果を英語でまとめて発表いただくというものです。この5つの内容で全てのプログラムですね、構成されています。で、各プログラムですね、今回、各センターからしっかりと、ご説明していただくんですけど、簡単に、私の方からご紹介させていただきます。まずはですね、フランス・ニースで学ぶ、持続可能なツーリズム。こちらはですね、フランスはですね、ヨーロッパの中でも、主要な観光地になるんですけども、その中でですね、ニースっていうところはですね、すごく観光地が有名な場所となります。ヨーロッパでも有名なリゾート地ですね、になります。で、そんなニースはですね、残念ながら多くのマスツーリズム、たくさんですね、観光客が来ることによって、地中海の生物多様性とその生態系の存続の危機が脅かされているんですね。で、このプログラムでは、持続可能性の基本的な概念と、それが観光業界に与える影響について学んでいただきます。はい。SDGs とかフランスの文化に興味がある方、観光業ですね、に興味ある方におすすめのプログラムとなっております。次、ローマですね。イタリアのローマでのプログラム。イタリアに行った方、いない方も、行ったことない方でもですね、パスタとかピザとか、イタリアの食文化はすぐ頭にね、思いつくんではないかなと思うんですけども、言うまでもなく世界的に有名なイタリアの食です。で、イタリアの人々にとって、食っていうのは最も重要な要素の一つになります。文化の中でも重要な要素ですね。で、イタリアではですね、国連が掲げた持続可能な開発目標、サスティナビリティですね、に関する社会活動が長い歴史にわたって行われております。で、最先端の取り組みもイタリアでは行われています。日本よりですね、SDGs がより進んでいると言えるのではないのかなと思います。そんなイタリアの、食文化と食を通じた持続可能な社会づくりの新たなアプローチ方法を学んでいただくのがこのプログラムになります。こちらも後ほど詳しいところですね、担当者からお話しいただきます。で、最後ですね、アイルランドのプログラムになります。そもそもアイルランドっていう国自体あまり馴染みがない方多いんではないのかなと思うんですけども、場所はイギリスのお隣、ロンドンから、首都ダブリンまで飛行機で1時間半ほどの場所です。で、そのアイルランドなんですけれども、グローバルな企業が集まる都市として有名です。 で、グローバルな企業が集まる、アイルランド、ダブリンを背景に、グローバル化した経済業界の中でどのようなコミュニケーションが行われているか。で、コミュニケーションと文化の役割っていうのを、このプログラムでですね、探求していただきます。はい。そうですね。個人と組織が国境を越えて活動する際に文化の類似点とか、そういう点に考慮しながら、コミュニケーションがどのように適用されているかっていうところをですね、皆さんこちらでは学んでいただきます。将来グローバルに活躍したいとか、アイルランドってどんな国なのかって興味ある方におすすめのプログラムになっています。はい。で、スケジュールなんですけれども、SF のウェブサイトから確認できる分野別短期研修の特設ページにて、リーフレットを掲載しております。で、そこにはですね、各、スケジュールですね、プログラムのスケジュールが載っていますので、そちらからですね、確認いただければなと思います。最終的なスケジュールは渡航前に確定されますので、変更がある可能性があることですね、ちょっとご理解いただけたらなと思います。はい。で、プログラム日程はですね、先ほどお伝えした通り、こちらの、ご覧の通りになります。で、滞在先もですね、ここに書いてある通りです。何かご質問等ある場合にはですね、ぜひ個別相談等で確認いただければなと思います。はい。では、私からの説明は以上になりまして、ここからはですね、3カ国、それぞれのプログラムの担当の方より、お話をいただきます。基本的には英語でのご説明になりますので、ちょっとね、研修の、なんていうんですかね、予習として皆さんも英語で、聞くことに慣れていただければなと思います。まずはですね、ニースのジュリーさんから、説明をしていただきたいと思います。Hi, we will begin with Nice Center. Julie, please welcome Julie here.
Thank
You
you.
can,
I'm
yeah,
happy to be here. So, if I can just share my presentation, then
yeah,
yeah. Okay,
you
perfect.
can start.
What? Give me just one quick minute. Presentation. Is it all good? Can everyone see my screen well? Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for giving me the time to present our center to you, Japanese students. I'm really excited about having the possibility to host you here in Nice in our center. As you saw from my job title, I'm also responsible for administration, budget, and finance, but I am also here the contact point for customized programs. So hence why I'm also the one presenting this to you today. So I'd like to start my presentation by showing you this wonderful picture of Nice, which you can see has a very stunning view on the Mediterranean, with its turquoise blue waters, as well as the turquoise blue sky, and also surrounded by some mountains. So you have a little bit of everything here: mountains, the Mediterranean, a great history as well. And it is part of southern France, so part of the Côte d'Azur region, you would call it, because I know that when you may think of France, the first thing that comes to mind is something more like this, which is typically associated with northern France and especially with Paris, right? So we have the Eiffel Tower, we have fashion, we have wine, baguette, cheeses, which is all part of French culture and also all part of Niçois culture, except for maybe the Eiffel Tower. But there's a lot more to French culture than just what you may think from the pictures that typically associate when you think of France. So it's not only this, but it has a lot of multiculturalism. Historically speaking, it's very rich, and they have a long, long tradition of tourism. for which I think France, and also particularly Nice, is a great place to come and study sustainable tourism. I would also like you to tell me if you, during my presentation, feel that I'm speaking too quickly or giving too much information, or you have a question. Please don't hesitate to stop me at that point, okay? Just because obviously I want to give you the best and most information possible, but without overloading you as well. So this is maybe what comes to mind into your mind when you think of France, but you may think of other stereotypes such as rude waiters, or let's say, historically speaking, you could think of also maybe a bit of dirty streets, that kind of thing. I would say that all of this has its place in France, but there's a lot of beauty that definitely would outweigh those type of stereotypes as well. So this is France for you. And then I want to obviously especially introduce you to Nice, where our center is located. So this is one of our students in front of the I Love Nice sign, which is located picturesquely on the above the Mediterranean, as you can see. And we, as you know, are the center that was hosting those students interested in sustainable tourism. So the question here is, why should we choose Nice as a center to look at sustainable tourism? As I was telling you before, France has a long and rich history in hosting tourists, and is one of the #1 destinations in Europe for tourism. And Nice especially has actually been a place for tourism since the 1800s. So it has quite a long history of that. It's obviously been a very picturesque destination with, as we were saying before, the picturesque Mediterranean and the surrounding mountains, where you can not only enjoy the Mediterranean during summer, but you can also ski above Nice and watch the Mediterranean while doing so. So historically speaking, it has been also a very luxurious destination, one could say. And throughout its history of being a tourist destination, it has gone through different phases. And we are also coming to a phase where we need to look at more sustainable options on how we can offer Nice and the surrounding areas as a space for tourism that people may enjoy, while also looking at the land, the sustainability of the area, and also the people who live here, who are obviously economically dependent also on tourism, but also need to live here in a sustainable way. So these are all aspects that we are looking into considering while considering Nice as a destination. As I told you, historically speaking, it's relevant for different types of tourists as well, and quite famous ones, as you'll see from the picture. So here we have Queen Victoria, who was a very a frequent visitor of Nice and the surroundings, who would come here. And you also have another picture which has been painted by Matisse. So Matisse would come here very often, and this is a particular picture that he painted in Nice, where in the window behind the lady you can also see some of the surrounding Nice area. So these famous visitors have also helped to create this hotspot type of tourist destination that Nice has become. These are also things that you can include in your own program. There's a Matisse museum. There's also destinations relevant to Queen Victoria, which are very interesting to also have a look at during your time here. Furthermore, Nice does not only include Nice, but it has beautiful surrounding areas. In this picture, we can see the rose fields, which are close to Grasse, which is about a 40-minute drive from here. And these have been traditionally used in very famous perfumes, such as the Chanel No. 5 perfume, as well as by Dior and is also places that can be visited during your stay here in Nice and have, of course, tourism relevance. Then again, as I was speaking about the historical relevance of Nice as a tourist destination, we know that there's very famous hotels and casinos, not only within Nice, but also 20 minutes away from Nice in Monaco, or a 15-minute train ride, which are also quite interesting to have a look at when thinking about sustainability and what makes a tourism destination, actually. And as I said, we don't have only Nice, but there's some different places where you can go. You could go to Grasse, spend some time looking at the perfumes that they're making in Grasse in the flower fields. Look at Marseille, Saint-Paul-de-Vence, very historical destination for painters. Many painters went to Saint-Paul-de-Vence, and the Gorge de Verdun. So we have beautiful surrounding nature. And we may also include a day in Italy. We're not far, only 1 hour from the border. So that can also be done quite easily from this destination. Then going on to our center itself, just as information to you, the center itself is quite conveniently located. So it's very much in the center of the city, right by one of the major shopping streets, and seriously a 10-minute walk to the sea and to the port. So you have quite a convenient location here. It's a good starting point to be able to move around the city as well. This is a picture here that I have put of our student lounge at the moment. We have 3 classrooms within the center. Of course, we have good internet access, access to printers, etc. And a local kitchen, which is for both staff and student use. So you will have access to that as well. And of course, our center offers you access to staff. And I'm pretty sure you may have already have this information, 24-hour emergency service in case there's anything that may happen here, hopefully not, obviously, in Nice, but we are always very much present for you, both within the center and in any excursions that you may go on with us. There will always be a staff member present as well. So I think that's important to keep in mind. So from there, if there's no questions, but I guess there's time allocated for Q&A later, so I'll just continue with my presentation. Here we have some of the program elements which we intend to include in your program while you're staying with us in Nice. So as the program itself is concentrating on sustainable tourism, there's a few things that are particularly interesting this year. I'm sorry, next year in 2025. Nice will be hosting the UN Ocean Summit. So this is in June 2025. I understand that the program is scheduled if moving ahead for March, but actually you can already feel all of the preparatory work being done to prepare for this big summit. And with this, we intend to include a lot of these elements of preparatory work with our professors within the program itself, because obviously ocean sustainability and looking at the Mediterranean Sea as a sea, but also going into the oceans, obviously, we believe that it's quite a big element of looking at sustainable tourism as well within Nice and within the Côte d'Azur region. Furthermore, we have one of France's oldest national parks very close to Nice called the Mercantour, which we would like to include as a sort of day hike to go there and look at how they've included sustainability within their concept. We have not only included day trips and site visits, such as going to the Oceanographic Museum, or including a hike along the coastal line to see the man-made effects of tourism versus the natural aspects of the coastline itself. But we've also included cultural activities for the students and guest lectures, which would include foundations that are based here within Nice or in Monaco, that we can include as guest lectures to also help support the understanding of sustainable tourism within the area for our students, and help to bring comparisons of how this could relate back to Japan as well. Then moving on to accommodation, which I understand is also very important, based on the fact that you will be staying within these accommodations for the duration of your time here. We, for the time that you would be here to have this program in Nice, have envisioned that you would be staying in serviced apart hotels. So these apart hotels being serviced, they are cleaned regularly. You have access to 24-hour reception. So there's always someone at the reception in case you have any problems. And they are also very centrally located, close to the port, with plenty of amenities in the surrounding area. So you would have access to a number of local restaurants, bars, supermarkets, post office, anything you need, it's really there. It's a very conveniently located area. These apartments themselves include a kitchenette, so a little kitchen, as you can see here, a living room, a bedroom, as well as a bathroom. One of the things that you may see is that here, if these are shared, the beds are quite, in this picture, close together, but please not to worry that it's possible to spread these further apart. So just to let you know. Okay, that's more or less to accommodation. Then I was asked to also define the learning outcomes for our sustainable tourism program, which are the three that you see here. So basically, students will explore and be able to identify alternatives to mass coastal tourism, including natural parks. I was talking about the Mercantour, marine parks, wetlands, etc. Students will recognize the fundamental principles of sustainability, especially in regard to urban coastal management and sustainable land use planning. Students will be able to pinpoint how concepts used along the French Riviera may be applicable to Japan's tourism management. So these are the learning outcomes that we intend to develop throughout the duration of our course with you. And we intend to do this also in a very interactive way, so that students are always very much included in reaching these outcomes, in the sense that we don't just do presentation learning, but a lot of interactive learning with you throughout the time. Finally, we also want to explain that we have a lot of chance for local interaction within our program. We have provided for different opportunities. We have different cultural activities planned, such as pétanque, which is the photo you can see here with one of our staff members, Thomas, who's responsible for student affairs. That is a local activity, and also played with locals, in a very socially interactive way as well. Actually, this type of sport, you could say, is a way that French people get together to sort of not only just play the game, but also communicate, have a drink together, etc. So it's actually not meant only, it's really meant to bring people close together and have conversation as well. And we hope to be able to do this with you. We hope to be able to visit plenty of local markets, as you can see below that picture, where you'll have the opportunity to engage in conversation with locals regarding the products they're selling, looking also at sustainability again, the sustainability of the local products, which we're presenting to you here, and cooking classes, as you can see in the bigger picture on the right, where you'll be looking at local food products, interacting with locals on what does that have to do with local culture, etc. And again, I wanted to remind you that the program itself allows for this interaction by including local guest lectures, looking at local foundations, etc. And that the staff is always ready to have a conversation with you for anything and to introduce you and give you tips about local culture and ways to interact more with locals and us as well. So that concludes my presentation. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time, and we really look forward to welcoming you in Nice. And of course, if you have any questions, I remain here until the Q&A session to be able to do so.
Thank you very much, Julie-san. Thank you. We will have Q&A session later. Please give her any reaction. 皆さん何かちょっとリアクションをしていただければ嬉しいです。We'll quickly move on next center presentation. OK。では、次はですね、ローマの方ですね、時間も押してきてますので、ローマの方の、説明に移りたいと思います。ローマからはですね、内家さんという方と、久谷さんという方ですね、2人来ておられます。で、久谷さんはですね、今回の、ローマのプログラムですね、一部サポートいただく方になりますけども、ローマ在住のフードコーディネーターの方になります。では、今日は2人からご説明がありますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Ciao
Yes, please.
Ciao a tutti. My name is Naike Valeriano. I'm the Customized Programs Manager here in Rome, and I also do coordinate the co-curricular activities and field trips for the standard program students. Today, we're talking about the SAF Japan study tour that we hope will take place in March here in Rome. We run this program last year, so we got a lot of great feedbacks from previous students. You will get to see some pictures of the former students who came in 2024. The program in Rome is about Italian food culture and sustainability. I'll introduce you very quickly to some of the staff. We are over 16 people here in Rome. The customized programs team is myself, Giulia Lazzarelli, Flaminia Torri, who last year worked as the program chaperone for the SAF students. We were so impressed with Flaminia that we decided to make her part of our team. The rest of the team is just this is just few of the people working at the IS Rome Center. The acting center director Simona Di Giustino, who is also the manager of academic internships here at the Rome Center. Ariana Gaffi, she is the head of student affairs and housing. Valentina Pulpito, this is a new figure at the IS Center, which we believe is important even for customized programs. Student success coordinator. Valentina Castellani, the health and safety advisor, and the faculty member, Benedetta Bianchini, who is an IS faculty. She teaches the Italian culture and cuisine course. And Mika Izatani, who will get to introduce herself briefly in a while, who works as a food consultant and has been living in Rome for over 25 years, I believe.
27 years.
Yeah. And Mika will give you an introduction to the course, and she will serve, let's say, as a liaison between yourself, the program chaperone, the activities you're gonna do here in Rome, and the IS Rome staff. The Rome Center is located at the heart, in the very heart of Rome. We're across from Castel Sant'Angelo in the second picture. We are a few steps away from Piazza Navona, and a few steps away from the Spanish Steps, from the Vatican museums. You will be feeling like you're in the real heart of the city. I just put some of the pictures to that represent the EIS Rome Center, the classroom, the auditorium, and the terrace. An overview to Italy. You will learn about this once you're here on site, but just to give you an idea, Rome is the capital of Italy. We're a parliamentary republic. We have the privilege of having the Vatican residing here in Rome, and also the presidents of the Italian Republic. We're 16 millions, and we're divided by region. This is important because all these regions have I mean, whatever you eat, whatever language you speak and dialect you speak, it all depends on the region you come from. You will get to learn about this once you get to Rome as well. Few more things you should know about Rome before you come is that everything is about Catholicism. It's Catholicism is the main religion here, so you will get to see a lot of churches and the influence that Catholicism, you will learn about the influence that Catholicism has on the moral code and identity of the Italians, okay? Italy is founding and leading member of the European Union, member of the NATO, the United Nations. Because Rome is the capital, you will get a chance to visit some of these institutions. For example, we're arranging, and you will see later on the presentation, a visit to the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization. It's something unique. There will be a guest lecture, and after following the guest lecture from one of our, hosted by one of the IS faculty members, you will get to walk to the FAO headquarters in Rome. The Italians, you will get to see how and why every region has their own customs, food, traditions. Just to make an example, the bread in Rome as a flavor, you go to Florence and it has a different flavor. There's an historical reason to that, okay? So this is to explain that there's much more to Rome and to Italy than just the cliche and the stereotypes and whatever you associate to Italy when talking about Italy, okay? You should also know that Rome is an urban jungle. There's a lot of traffic, especially at this time of the year. We're getting prepared for the Jubilee year. Jubilee year is a huge event for the Catholic Church. It's taking place in 2025, and there will be a lot of celebration related to the Jubilee. Starting the inauguration will be on December 24th. So right now there's a lot of construction works going on in Rome. All the monuments and churches, even St. Peter's Basilica has been reconstructing and under construction works, okay? There's a lot of scaffoldings everywhere you go. When you come in March, you will not see anything being restored, because at that point, the Jubilee has already started. But you will see a lot of people, okay? There's even more people than usual. On a normal basis, we have 22 to 25 tourists every year. We're expecting 35 million people to visit Rome next year during Jubilee year. Every week, there's a different celebration taking place. There's a lot of pilgrims and a lot of tourists coming to visit Rome, okay? Even in March, around the Easter time, I anticipate there will be a lot of queues and crowd when you go to places, so be ready to that. Rome is a melting pot of all the regions because this is where all the seats of the government are based. So we have embassies, international institutions, all the ministries are located here in Rome. So there's a multicultural vibe, okay? But that doesn't mean that you still, it's an international multicultural city, but it preserves its soul, okay? The Romans are very warm people and welcoming. You go to, just to make an example, you go to a coffee bar and order a coffee one day. If you go there the following day, they will recognize you. They know your name already. They will prepare the coffee because they memorize, they remember you from the day before. This is the kind of people you will get to meet in Rome, okay? They're very like welcoming and embracing people and other culture, okay? There's a music, art, fine wine, great food in Rome. This is one of the most visited city in 2022, 2023, and 2024 also. What is Italy known for? Of course, art, architecture, fashion, opera, literature, design, the Ferrari, films, and food, which is the reason why we hope you will join us next year. Italy is important food-wise because we have a global reputation for excellence thanks to the variety and quality, because we are divided by 20 regions. Every region gives a contribution, okay, their contribution, and the contribution, the tradition, the customs of every region depends on the domination they were ruled by in the past. Okay, we were unified very recently. We're a pretty young state. We've been here forever, okay, but Italy as a state become what it is known for today only in 1861. Before, we were ruled by different rulers, okay, and they all left some heritage, okay? So this explains why there's so much variety. Beyond cuisine's popularity, Italy also takes its place on the world stage as a seat of agricultural development. You will learn about the slow food movement. You will learn why Italy and the United Nations cooperate. And why all of the headquarters are located in Rome, okay? We are very much into sustainability, and food culture and sustainability are related things. Everyone deserves access to safe, nutritious food that does not cost the earth. We're very committed to that. The IS Center in Rome worked closely to some of the institutions of the United Nations to promote the engagement when it comes to food, rehabilitation through food, social justice, okay? And of course, we strongly believe that nutrition should be should be granted to everybody, okay? Through the program in Rome, you will learn why it is important to preserve the environment, the earth, and how we can cooperate and work for the future, okay, to guarantee access to food to everybody. The goals of the program are for you to gain awareness, to learn how to be active participants in the world you live in, and how to get the world ready for the future generations. You will learn more about the SDGs through experiential activities. There will be a lot of activities that you will be doing during the program, so there will be a good balance between classroom time, because of course you're here for a study tour, okay? So we do not have to forget that you're here for a reason, okay? It's not just fun. There's also some learning components to this program, okay? So you will learn, and we strongly believe in experiential activities, hands-on, okay? You will get to be creative. You will get to see how you can reuse food, the food waste, how to not waste the food by going to a local market and collecting the food waste and cooking whatever you've been collecting at the local market. So there's also some community service involved. You will also learn more about community engagement. You will go back to Japan with a handful of experience, okay? This is what the schedule will look like. We're still in the process of confirming some of the activities, but by the time you get here, there will be a program chaperone, a person, a dedicated person, an IS staff who will welcome you at the airport, take you to the residence hall, and who will shadow you for the entirety of the program, okay? From day one till the day you leave, there will be somebody with you facilitating all the activities. They will take you from A to B, okay? They will take you to the IS Center, then they will take you to, I don't know, the Coliseum and all the visits, the business visits, and the cultural activity that you will be doing here in Rome, okay? There will be always somebody shadowing you. And of course, you will be doing part of your day here in class, and part of the day will be dedicated to field studies, okay? So Professor Bianchini and Mika Zatani will be always there with you, okay? Whatever the activity is. These are just a few pictures, okay, of the courses that the previous SAF students took last year with Professor Bianchini in class and at the local market and during the cooking class that took place after students went to the local market, to a farmer's market with a community service, okay? They gave back, they helped the community, they collected food waste, and they reused and had the opportunity to see how you can reuse the food waste. Other field studies, they went to a local market and learned how to do grocery. They went to a farm to learn about sustainability and agriculture. They went to a prison here in Rome. We had the special permission, thanks to Mika, to enter an actual prison and learn about the rehabilitation of prisoners who have been running a bakery within the cursor of Rebibbia, okay? The Japanese embassy was there, journalists were there, we were on the newspapers, okay? This is a great opportunity for students. It was a great opportunity for myself as well. I mean, I never got a chance to enter a prison before and see how prisoners can be, convicted people can be rehabbed and throughout community service. Talking about housing, you will be hosted by Residence Candia. It's very, very close to the Vatican Museums, like located on the parallel streets of the Vatican Museum. I would say this is probably the safest area you can stay in a city like Rome because of the neighbors, okay? You will get to stay in triple and double rooms depending on the numbers and also the gender breakdown. This is how the bedrooms look like. These are just the sample pictures, okay? There's a bathroom in each bedroom, and there's a kitchenette in every bedroom. There's not much common space inside within the residence, the rooms, because this is a residence hall where other students from other universities resides, okay? But there's a lot of common spaces. So there's a reception open 24/7. They're always available. There's the St. Peter's Basilica can be, it's visible, okay, from the terrace. There's a lot of facilities, daily cleaning service. There's a weekly change of sheets. Towels are replaceable every day. There's, of course, Wi-Fi, not only here, but also not only Residence Candia, but also at the IS Center. There's a self-service laundromat. There's fridges in every room. So you will get a chance to cook your meals, okay? If you don't feel like eating at a restaurant every day. This is a map, and this is just to give you an idea of the distance, okay? It's a walkable distance from the IS Center, but you can also take public transportation. You will be provided with a bus pass, okay, to use on public transportation. And during the orientation session, you will be explained how to use the monthly pass, how to go from place to place, and the program chaperone, of course, will be with you throughout the experience. So these are just a few pictures of things you will get to see while staying in Rome, because of course there will be a city tour and going from all and visiting all the locations that we have in program, okay? On the menu, you will get to see a lot of the highlights, Rome highlights. These are pictures that were taken last year with the previous students, okay? They went to, as I said, markets. They got to learn more about like wine culture, and Professor Bianchini is also a sommelier, wine and olive oil sommelier. Students got to visit the Colosseum. They got to see how you make mozzarella, cheese. They got to cook. They got to do grocery. I mean, I hope you will do the same and that you will enjoy the program here in Rome. I'll meet you later for the Q&A session, but before I let the stage to Mika for a brief introduction in Japanese for you all.
Yes, thank you. はい、私が、ローマプログラムの久谷美香と申します。できるだけ駆け足で、ご紹介させていただきたいと思います。私はですね、1996年から、 このイタリアの首都ローマに在住しています。もともとこれほど長く暮らすつもりはなかったんですけれども、食べたり飲んだりすることが大好きな私は、この国の食べ物の桁違いの美味しさに取り憑かれまして、ローマ暮らしが今年で28年になりました。私は、フードコンサルタント、そしてフードジャーナリストとして、イタリアと日本の食業界をつなぐ仕事をしています。長年にわたり、イタリア全土の食材生産者や食の見本市を訪問し、食業界に関する、取材や執筆の仕事も行っています。イタリアにおいて食文化は最も重要な国の文化であり、この国のアイデンティティを形成しています。多様な伝統料理や食習慣の歴史は世界的に見ても最も豊かな国と言えます。ローマプログラムでは実際チーズやワイン、そしてオリーブオイルのテイスティング、またその他たくさんの美味しい伝統料理、伝統食材を味わっていただけると思います。そしてこの美食の国、イタリアが素晴らしいのは、食をただ味わって楽しむだけではなく、食を通じて社会的弱者の支援を行っていることなんです。この長いキャリアの間に、私はイタリアにおける食を通じた社会的プロジェクトをたくさん見てきました。例えば、障害者や難民など社会的弱者と言われる人を雇用し、農業を行うソーシャルファームや、受刑者の社会構成支援として、刑務所内に作られたパン工房、生活困窮者の支援とフードロス削減対策を同時に行っている、ファーマーズマーケットなど、イタリアらしくポジティブで明るいプロジェクトが展開しているんです。そしてこれらは単なる支援や、全事業ということではなく、新たな経済活動を生み出すビジネスとして拡大しているんです。世界的に見ても、日本と同じく食文化が著しく発達しているイタリアで、食を通じて誰一人残さない社会づくりがどのように行われているのか、またそれがどのように経済的な利益を生み出しているのか、これに取り組む社会的リーダーたち、今回のですね、ゲストレクチャーたちから直接彼らの経験や将来の課題、いろんな問題を聞くことによって、私自身、今までの価値観から大きく、視野が広がったように、皆様にも必ず、新たな人生観をもたらしてくれると確信しています。ということで、ローマでお待ちしております。ありがとうございました。グラッツェ。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much, Naike-san and Hisatani-san. Thank you. So we are behind the time we said, so we quickly move on to the Dublin Center. Julie, can you change the share screen? はい。では、皆さん、少しお時間も押しておりますので、ローマのことですね。さらなる質問がありましたら、後ほど、Q&A セッションでお伺いいただければと聞いていただければと思います。では、ダブリンセンターの方からの、説明に移りたいと思います。Please start your presentation.
Okay, it's so nice to learn about the Rome program and also the Nice program. Oh, they look wonderful. So you have a lot of good choices. I wish you could do all three of them. Can everyone see my screen and hear me okay? Okay, great. If you want, just let me know if I'm speaking too quickly or if I can repeat something or speak up. Just let me know. You can raise your hand or say in the chat, however you're most comfortable. So my name is Julie Jennings, and I'm the program manager here at Dublin IES. And I just wanted to say I'm so excited at the possibility of having you come to join us here. I think that something that's a really special that comes out of the SAF and IES partnership is one, we get to be, for selfish reasons, we get to have such wonderful students come to our center, and it's a delight every time. And I think that for you, what we hope is that you get new cultural experiences and get to have adventure and learn a lot. So today I'll tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the program, and what you can expect if you come to Dublin with us. So I am Julie Jennings, and I've grown up traveling around a lot. My dad is actually French, and my mom is American, and they both love to travel. So growing up, we moved to new countries every 2 or 3 years. And as an adult, I've done the same thing. I love to travel and live abroad. So I think something very wonderful happens when you get to experience new cultures. You learn so much about the place you're staying, and also you learn so much about yourself. And it's such a good opportunity to grow into the kind of person that you hope to be. So here's a photo of our center, our Dublin Center. It's located in a neighborhood called Rathmines, and the building here, it's an old Victorian center that has a lot of cool history that we can tell you about when you come. The neighborhood where the IES Center is so much fun. It's basically one long street that has tons of shops and coffee shops and restaurants. So in addition to your class, there's lots of neat things to check out by the center. The building, as I said, it's a really beautiful Victorian building with the brick, and it's only about a 20-minute walk from where you're going to stay, which I'll show you in a moment. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea. Here's a lovely picture of Dublin City. These are some of our goals for the program if you decide to come and study with us. So of course, we want you to learn about Irish culture and history, and to explore the beautiful Irish countryside and Dublin City, to increase your knowledge about communications and culture. And something that I've seen happens as kind of a nice side effect, I think students gain a lot of self-confidence, and also we really want to empower you to exceed in this new place. I think it takes so much bravery to come to a new country where you've never been and speak in a language that's not your first language. So honestly, I'm really proud of you all for taking this chance, because I know it's difficult. I've lived in countries before where I didn't speak the language, and I know it can be kind of intimidating, but really the rewards of coming to a new place far, far exceed the difficulties and the challenges. So when you're here, I think I've seen, even though the program is very short, even just in 2 weeks, I think the students really shine because they're trying new things, meeting new people, trying to speak in another language. And I think Dublin is such a good city for culture and communications. I'm not from Ireland. I was born in the US. And as I said, I moved around a lot. But something that's very special about Ireland is that I think the people are very warm and they like to have a chat. So pub culture is very big here. And it's a little bit different from what I'm used to when it comes to pub and bars. Pubs here are more like, I like to call them community centers. Families go, friends go, people by themselves go, and they have a chat with their neighbors, with their friends, with new friends. And you can go to a pub and get a hot bowl of soup or a drink, and people will come up and talk to you, and they want to know your story. They want to know about your life. So I think Dublin is a really special and unique place to study communications, because the communication style here is very different from anywhere I've ever lived. So I think it's kind of a nice thing to see. It helps you kind of learn about yourself, and also kind of challenge the people that you meet here about their communication style as well. So it's really cool, really fun. And of course, finally, we want you to have an adventure that you'll cherish for a lifetime. And I think just as with Nice and with Rome, they're such special cities, and there's so much wonderful opportunity in all three of these places. So I know, I don't want to speak for Julie and Nike, but I think, I think it's such a pleasure to host you, It's just as much fun for us as it is for you. All right, let me go on to the next one. This is where you're going to stay. We have a really neat apart hotel called Stay City. There's actually several locations throughout Dublin city center, but we like to have you stay in Stay City Tivoli. It's very modern, very comfortable. The staff is so friendly, and really they're there all the time wanting to help you feel comfortable, feel safe. It's in a really nice neighborhood. It's only about a 10-minute walk to the city center and 20-minute walk from IES. So there are a lot of buses nearby as well. There's a lot of coffee shops, vintage stores, neat things to do, neat things to see, a lot of sites. So yes, there's a little kitchen, a nice bathroom, and you'll share with one other student. And so I don't know, I think it's a really cool central place, and we've been so happy with the staff there because they're just like the IES team. They're very dedicated to make sure you feel comfortable your time there. Okay, so fun things that we're gonna do. All right, I really believe, and I think that's something that's very special about IES and SAF. I think that it makes education fun. You know, gone are the days where you have to like sit in a place and just listen, and, you know, be told what to think, be told what to do. I think part of this studying abroad and experiential learning is that everything you do, every new person that you talk to, every new experience, of course the class as well, I think you're learning all the time. And I think everything you do can be so much fun. And I really believe that's where the best learning happens. So some of the things we're going to do while you're here, we're going to explore the beautiful Dublin Castle. We're going to spend a day, about 1 hour outside of the city. This is one of my personal favorites. We go to Causey Farm. We see the animals. We do something that's very specific to Ireland, and that's bog jumping. It's basically like a big field of mud and you jump in. So maybe I'm not selling it very well, but I did it for the first time last time I visited, and it's so much fun. We also learn traditional Irish dancing. We make traditional Irish soda bread and have a nice meal. And of course, if you're an animal lover like myself, we'll get to see and interact with all the farm animals. We're going to enjoy a private concert of traditional Irish music. And of course, if anyone is excited to try some dancing, we'll do that as well. We're also going to visit a local business that's actually an international business to learn about how they relate and communicate with international partners. The first time we did this was actually the last SAF program, and it's such a wonderful addition because I think it lets the students, it lets you see that it's very possible to live and work abroad if that's something that's a goal in your future. So yes, okay, next we'll play some traditional Irish sports at a local GAA club. The GAA is the Gaelic Athletic Association. So we're gonna go to a club that's nearby Dublin. It's Southside Dublin, and they've actually been champions of some of the traditional Irish sports in the recent past. So we'll get to learn from some of the local sports heroes about how to play the Irish games. And it's really an important part of Irish culture are the sports. So Gaelic football and also hurling. So you'll get to try these two sports that originated here. And that's always a fun day. I'll show you a picture in a minute. We're gonna, of course, you can't go to Dublin without seeing where the famous Guinness beer originated. So we take a tour of the Guinness storehouse and we learn about their marketing and their communications. We're gonna take a day trip to a place called Glendalough. And that's actually where I decided to move to Ireland because it's such a beautiful place and it's so inspiring. My last time there, I was sitting there on the mountain and I said, I'm going to move to Ireland. And then I made it happen. So that's also a very special trip for me to take you on. On one of the first or second days, we're going to go on a tour called the Secret Dublin Food Tour, and we'll try some special Irish treats. So you get a sampling of the local cuisine. All right, and let me show some pictures, which of course, I think pictures can show better than I can ever speak. So you can see this castle. We take a nice half-day trip to Malahide Castle, have a really good traditional Irish lunch there. This top picture, some students are trying hurling. That's one of the Irish sports, the GAA sports. We also do a scavenger hunt. This photo with all the students like holding kind of coffee cups, that's the students on their scavenger hunt taking photos, and the winner of that gets a prize. And the bonus of the scavenger hunt is that it really helps you start to explore the city and feel confident going around Dublin. Another picture of Dublin Castle in the courtyard there as well, and the Gaelic sports night. For your farewell meal, where we take a short bus ride up into the Dublin mountains, and we see an incredible performance of traditional Irish music and dancing while having a lovely meal. And the bottom left corner is one of our past students trying a traditional Irish dance. So yeah, I was very impressed that he tried the dance with our lecturer. So yeah, these are just some of the photos, but honestly, I have countless good memories of our past trips. And I think it's such a special time for you to come and learn about communications and culture. So let me tell you a little bit about your course. So you'll have a professor named Miriam McGovern, and we've worked with her for a few years now. She's a really lovely lady. She's been a communications and an English instructor for over 20 years. So in the course, you're going to learn about effective communication styles, exploring learning styles, look at how different theories apply to our understanding of culture, and also look at the role of culture in designing effective communication campaigns and marketing, including social media and storytelling. So I think in today's world, you know, communication, especially global communication, is getting increasingly important as we become a more globalized world. So this course helps you look at kind of comparison studies, how we communicate in Ireland and in other countries and in your country in Japan, and kind of merging these ideas together to become the best communicator and the best, the best communicator possible. So at the end of the course, you'll present a capstone project in small groups that incorporates the theories and concepts learned in class. So yeah, it's always really impressive, the presentations that the students come up with. So remember, the teacher helps you the whole way. You work in groups. So, you know, you have tons of support getting ready for the presentations. And really, you'd have nothing to worry about. They're always outstanding. Another thing that's not here that can be very helpful, we have two really kind women who are from Japan, but have lived here in Ireland for many years. And they come with us to some of the more speaking heavy events, so they can do translations. Also, if you ever have any issues, like Julie mentioned, we have 24/7 on call for emergencies, and which is really great. All of the centers have that. And if you ever have any trouble and would feel more comfortable speaking to someone in your native language in Japanese, we have these two translators available that can help support you. So I'm always here for you. We have a staff that's always ready to help, ready to be supportive, like every center, thankfully. And I think it can also help the translators. Sometimes it's just easier to communicate something in your native language. So we do have two, Kyoko and Noko-san. They're two really lovely women who can help out should you need to communicate something and it's easier to do so in Japanese. All right. So this is some of our staff here at our a staff lunch, but just so you know, I've worked here almost 3 years now, and our staff is just such a kind and supportive group. And I know I'm 100% sure that both the NE Center and the Rome Center are the same, because IES has been such a lovely place to work. All the staff at SAF as well, SAF and IES, I feel like we have such a strong dedication to really supporting the students. We want you to be safe. We want you to have, you know, excellent learning, and we want you to have a wonderful adventure when you're with us before, during, and after. So my staff here, the staff in the other centers, And of course, the lovely SAF staff, you know, we're here for you all the time. And I think that's what makes SAF and IES partnership so special. So yes, if you have any questions, if we can answer or any comments, you know, please just let me know. And I'm happy to provide any info that I can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's lovely presentation. Thank you. それではですね、ちょっとお時間が押しておりますけれども、一番ですね、大事なところになりますので、Q&A セッションですね、続行させていただきたいと思います。で、何かですね、3つの、プログラムに対してご質問がある場合には、ミュートを外していただいて直接お話しいただくか、もしくはですね、コメント、チャット欄で入れていただけたらなと思います。で、日本語でも構いません。こちらで英語にして質問をしますので、ぜひ何かご質問ありましたら、入れていただけますでしょうか。では、皆さんからちょっとご質問を募りたいと思います。何かありますか？ Do you have any question? どうですか？せっかくなので、はい、ちょっと時間をして申し訳ないんですけども、何かご質問があれば聞いていただけたらなと思います。直接センターのスタッフの方と、事前にお話しする機会はめったにありませんので、ぜひ聞いていただけたらなと思います。はい、プログラムですね、質問がありました。このプログラムは4年生でも参加できますかっていうことで、じゃあ、こちら、私の方からも、答えさせていただくと、4年生でも、参加は可能になります。プログラム期間自体ですね、問題なければ、4年生でも参加いただけますね。卒業式とかそういった被りがなければ、参加いただけますので、4年生でも大丈夫です。はい。そうですね。では、ちょっとご質問がないようなので、私の方からいつもいただいている質問等を、代わりに、皆さんの代わりに質問しようかなと思いますけれど、皆さんの方から何か質問ありませんか？大丈夫ですかね。多分皆さんの中で気になっているのが、ローカルの、人と交流する機会があるかなっていうのちょっと気になってたりするかと思いますので、ちょっと私の方から皆さんに聞いてみたいと思います。Hi everyone, I have a question. Do the student have the opportunity, chance to communicate with the local people? Do they have a chance to communicate with them? ない、please.
At the
Share,
IS Center, while we host the SAF program, we do have standard program students taking their courses on a daily basis. So there's a lot of people. We're expecting 290 students to come to Rome for the spring in 2025. And by the time the SAF students come to Rome, they will have a chance to meet all of the students, of course, during their free time or during the breaks, in between classes and field studies. Also, the terrace is available, and we also have a studio space at the center. So there will be plenty of opportunity to meet not only the IS students when at the center, but also at the residence hall where other university will come here. Besides the program chaperone, it's an Italian student, a local student who can also put students in contact with their friends. I mean, we strongly believe in this studio.
Thank you very much. How about Dublin Center? Do you have a
Sure.
chance?
Oh, sure. I agree. I think there will be other students at the IES Center that you'll get to interact with and meet. And also a lot of our excursions involve talking with, being guided by local people. So you'll get a chance to meet them as well. And also, as I mentioned, Dublin's a really friendly city. So I think if you ever go out to a restaurant or a pub, or you want to go out, try dancing or exploring, anything like that, I think it's very common for people to come and say hello. So yeah, I think it's very easy, both with IES in the center, also on our excursions, and also if you decide to go out with friends, then I think it's very easy to meet local people.
Thank you very much. How about Nice Center? Do you have a chance to meet local people?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned, our program is very much catered to the inclusion of interaction with locals. So that would not only include the cultural activities that we organize, but also the on-site visits where we're also very much including local people, especially in regards to now local tourism, sustainable tourism. We want to promote that side of things and give students the most as many opportunities as possible to do so.
Thank you for your answer. そうですね。まあ皆さん多分今聞いていただいたように、もちろんですね、地域の方と接する機会っていうのはたくさんあります。で、IS センターっていうのは日本人だけじゃなくて、他の国から、アメリカ人ですね。アメリカ人の学生さんも、利用している、プログラムの、センターになりますので、同じ時期に、プログラムがある、アメリカ人の方だったりとかとの交流もあるかなと思います。はい。ではですね、他にもご質問があったので、ちょっとお答えしようかなと思うんですけども、追加のご質問ですね。休学中でも参加できますかっていうことで、はい、特に私たちの方では休学中でも参加いただいて構いませんので、はい、問題ないです。はい。で、もう一つですね。プログラムには他国の学生の参加、もあるのですか？それとも日本人のみの学生でしょうか？というところなんですけど、こちらまた私の方から回答させていただきますと、プログラムに関しては日本人のみ、この、今回ご紹介しているプログラムに関しては参加する学生は日本人です。ただですね、いろんな、大学から来られていますので、関東だけではなく関西だったりとか、たまには九州からですね、参加されている学生さんもいらっしゃいますので、いろんな方とですね、プログラムを通してお会いするチャンスがあるので、これもちょっと楽しいのではないのかな、いい出会いがあるんではないのかなと思います。それでは他どうでしょうか。ちょっとね、時間過ぎてますけども。
あと一つ、Q&A の方に入ってるんですけど、宿
はい。
泊のお部屋が、お友達と申し込んだときに同じになりますかっていう質問なんですけど、こちらはセンターの方に言える質問ですかね。
ちょっともしかしたらセンターの方で、それぞれ回答できるかわからないんですけれども、そうですね、基本的にはですね、一応その申し込みの際に書いていただく箇所あるんですけど、すべてですね、希望通りにならない可能性もあるってことをご理解いただけたらなと思います。ちょっとハウジングの、希望みたいなものを出願時に出して、申し込み時ですね、出していただくんですけれども、その希望がそのまま、希望通りに、叶わない場合もありますので、もしかしたらちょっとお友達と離れて、部屋が離れてしまう可能性があるかなと思いますので、そこだけご理解いただければと思います。いろんな事情をもとにちょっと部屋割りはですね、決定していると思いますので、はい。で、英語で質問、そうですね。ちょっと、出なきゃいけないので、じゃあここで一旦ラップアップザプレゼンテーションということで、ちょっと一旦終了したいと思うんですけど、皆さんの方からご質問、最後に何かありませんか？大丈夫ですかね？Okay, thank you very much, everyone. You can leave now. Thank you very much. We'll see you in spring, hopefully. Yeah, thank you very much. 皆さん、じゃあリアクションお願い。
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Hopefully to
Thank
see you
you.
in spring.
Yeah, in the spring. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
はい。ではですね、もし、このほか 何かご質問あったら、ちょっと最後にまた聞いていただけたらなと思います。で、もうちょっとお時間が過ぎておりますので、もしここで退出する必要がある方は退出していただいて構いません。この後ですね、ちょっと申し込みについてご案内を最後ですね、させていただきたいと思うんですけども、実は申し込みの、内容に関しては、先ほどご紹介した特設ページの申し込みの手引きというところにすべて書いてありますので、そちらから見ていただいても、確認ができると思います。はい。まだ、一緒に、付き合っていけますよ、一緒に入れますよって方はですね、残っていただいて、最後までちょっと申し込みの方ですね、ご説明できたらなと思います。はい。ごめんなさい。少しですね、時間をしてしまって、駆け足でご説明となりまして、質問の時間も少し短くなりまして、申し訳ございません。では、残りですね、進めていきたいと思います。はい。で、プログラムの参加要件ですね、改めてご説明させていただきます。はい。すでにですね、ご覧になっている方もいらっしゃると思うんですけども、このプログラムの参加には語学要件ですね、定められています。で、今、スライドで示しています、これらの英語、スコアですね、どれかで構いません。で、ちょっと確認いただきたいのは受験日ですね。受験日が2022年12月1日以降に受験したものが有効となりますので、ご自身が持っているスコアの受験日をですね、確認してください。で、ちょっと今ですね、持っているスコアが古いとか、まだ何もスコア持ってないっていう方はですね、今チャットに入れているかなと思うんですけど、オンラインで、数日間で結果のわかるデュアリンゴとか、そういったものがございますので、そちらの受験ですね、検討いただけたらなと思います。で、費用に関してですね、はい、こちら、3つのプログラムの費用ですね、スライドの通りになるんですけども、まずはですね、SF のプログラム費です。こちらは、アメリカドル建ての請求となります。で、書いてある金額、その、通りなんですけれども、日本円額に関しては、お支払いのタイミングでのレート、換算レートによって、変更となりますので、ご注意ください。実際にお支払いいただくタイミングが、2025年、来年の1月から2月頃になりますので、そのタイミングのレートを採用することになります。で、航空券費用ですね。航空券は指定会社、指定の旅行会社を通して、ご手配いただくんですけれども、金額ですね、こちらに書いてある通りです。で、キャンセル規定等が、航空会社で定められているものありまして、そちらをですね、リーフレットの方に、掲載している、航空券手続きの説明動画っていうものがありますので、そちらで必ず、ご確認いただけたらなと思います。リーフレットの18ページに載っております。で、それ以外にかかる費用がですね、ございます。例えばですね、東京以外にお住みの方は、その、出発空港が、東京になりますので、そこまでの交通費だったりとか、あとは現地ですので、現地での個人的な費用とか食費っていうところが、その他の費用としてかかりますので、それらも含めまして、留学費用ですね、想定していただくといいかなと思います。はい。で、パスポートですね。こちらも改めて確認をお願いします。残存期間ですね、確認してください。それぞれの国で、必要となる残存期間、異なります。アイルランドであれば6ヶ月以上の、残存期間ですね。出国時点ですね。プログラム終了から起算して6ヶ月以上の残存期間があることが望ましくなります。イタリアとフランスは3ヶ月以上になります。で、現在ですね、お持ちのパスポートが、ちょっと更新しなければいけない。もしくは、まだ、パスポート持ってないっていう方はですね、更新手続き、新規の申請をですね、11月の14日までに完了するようにしてください。 で、11月の21日には、指定する航空会社に、コピーを提出していただくことになりますので、それに間に合うように皆さんご準備お願いいたします。まだ持ってない方、早めにですね、ご準備をしてください。で、申し込みの流れですね。はい。留学までの道のりが、ステップ5まであって、現在ですね、今、ステップ1、情報収集、説明会で情報収集している最中ではありますが、留学に向けた準備として、ですね、申し込みまでのね、準備として、ちょっと確認いただきたいことですね。今お話しした語学スコアの確認と、あとは費用の準備等ですね、費用の確認を必ずしてください。で、プログラムを決定するにあたって何かご相談したいということであれば、個別相談も可能ですので、このステップ2の間で個別相談を受けてください。で、申し込みですね。申し込みは10月の4日、5時までが、申し込み締め切りとなりますので、ご注意ください。で、定員になり次第申し込み受付終了となりますので、もし、11月4日前に、定員が達してしまった場合には、ウェブサイト等でご案内しますので、そちらご確認いただけたらなと思います。で、その後ですね、出発準備とありまして、出発となります。もうちょっと砕いてですね、ご紹介していきたいと思います。まずですね、申し込みなんですけれども、SF のですね、海外分野別短期研修の特設ページから、申し込みの手引きというものがダウンロードできるようになってますので、そちらをダウンロードしてください。で、その手引きを見ながら、申し込み手続きを進めていただけたらと思います。で、ここでですね、もし今ご参加の学生さんの中で、千葉大学の、大学から来ている方はですね、ちょっと千葉大学の学生さん、別途、申し込み方法、申し込み手引きがございますので、そちらを参照するようにしてください。他の学生さんとちょっと違う流れになりますので、千葉大学の学生さんはご注意ください。はい。で、申し込みの手続きなんですけども、手引きを見ながら進めていただきます。で、その、申し込みのステップの中に、先ほどご紹介した、航空券に関する情報も含まれております。はい。なので、こちらで再度ですね、航空券に関する、詳細ですね、確認いただきたいと思います。で、11月の4日締め切りで、その翌日ですね、5日には最高可否のご案内ですね。万が一、最小最高人数に達さなかった場合には、そのご連絡もしますし、定員になってしまった場合には、そのご案内もさせていただくんですけども、最高可否のご案内を11月5日ですね、ご連絡差し上げます。で、その、確認、最高可否の案内を確認したら、すぐにですね、支払いを、出願料、デポジットのお支払いをいただきます。はい。で、その後、まだですね、手続き進んでまいります。申し込み書類の提出というものがありますので、必要書類をですね、SF が、提供する学生ポータルへのアップロードですね、学生ポータルにアップロードいただきます。で、この学生ポータルは申し込みした後に、アクセス、ログインが可能になりますので、そこからですね、アップロードしてください。はい。で、今までの流れで何かわからないことがあった場合には、申し込みのサポート会っていうものありますので、そちらぜひね、ご利用いただけたらなと思います。皆さんのご質問に、お答えする機会となります。はい。で、次ですね、申し込みの手続きが終わりますと、航空券費用のお支払いになります。だいたい11月の中旬から1月の中旬の間で、航空券費用のお支払いがあります。で、SF の残りのプログラムですね、をお支払いいただくのが、その後1月から2月の間になります。こちらからご案内しますので、その案内に従ってプログラム費の残りの部分ですね、お支払いください。で、最後ですね、出発前のオリエンテーションがあります。 もう日にちが決まっていますので、こちらですね、ちょっとメモ帳等にね、記載していただくといいかなと思いますけども、2月の13日の1時半から4時ですね、オリエンテーションがございます。で、そこで、出発前のね、細かい情報等を確認いただいたりとか、一緒に参加する学生さんとの交流もありますので、ぜひご参加お願いします。というところで、はい、最後ですね、もうちょっとお問い合わせの、確認ということで、もし今後、先ほどもお話ししたように個別相談したいという方は、SF のウェブサイトから個別相談の予約ができるようになっておりますので、こちらからご予約ください。はい、締め切りもありますので、個別相談希望している方は早めにご予約いただくといいかなと思います。あとは、今回のね、プログラムの詳細だったり、申し込みの手引きはですね、こちらの QR コードの、特設ページから確認をお願いします。チャットにもね、流れているかと思います。今日ですね、たくさんセンターのスタッフから、情報を得たと思うんですけども、もっとより、知りたいっていう方は、インスタグラムにもですね、過去の学生さんの現地の様子の、動画だったり写真をですね、ストーリーのアーカイブに、貯めておりますので、そちらからぜひ見てみてください。SAF Japan と検索していただくと、SF のですね、公式インスタグラム確認ができますので、こちらもぜひ活用してください。はい。で、もしですね、SF の短期留学だけじゃなく、長期留学も考えている方とか、SF からの情報をもっと知りたいっていう方は、こちらの QR コードに、必要事項をですね、入力していただくと、情報発信システムといって、メールがですね、定期的に届くような、システムに登録することになります。SF の長期留学の出願締め切りとか説明会とか、留学に関するイベント等のご案内をしてますので、もし興味がある方ですね、ぜひこちらから QR コード、基本情報を入れて登録をお願いします。はい。だいぶですね、時間伸びてしまって申し訳ございません。これで、政府の分野別説明会以上となります。もし何かちょっとさっき聞きそびれてしまったということがありましたら、ちょっと残っていただいて質問いただければなと思います。では、ここで一旦終了にさせていただきます。アンケート等最初にですね、冒頭にでもお願いしたんですけども、ぜひこちらアンケートの回答もよろしくお願いします。では、以上になります。皆さん、ありがとうございました。